Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like...
Cuervo.
I think he could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings,
Why are you listening to this show?
the podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Oh, yeah. We welcome in David Samson. Nothing personal with David Samson is the show. You listen to it every day. You catch it wherever you get podcasts, on DraftKings Network, on YouTube, wherever you find yourself listening to stuff. And David, we got a lot to get to. The greatest World Series of all time, all that stuff. I know usually we hold the movie talk to the end, but I did want to include you in this conversation we had right before you came on about The Running Man. Tony just found out that it's a reboot. He asked, should I watch the original one?
He didn't know anything about it.
He didn't know anything about it. We had to teach him about it. But he asked, should I watch the original one? Would you, as a movie aficionado, suggest that he wait to watch the old one after he watches the new one, or to watch the old one first and then watch the new one?
I'm not going to be that guy because I don't want to turn into my father where I say the original is always better. You got to start with the original. No. I'm new age, man. I'm young now. Forget the original. Go with the new one. Forget the original. It's old. It's 1980 something, like 7. It's so long ago. You probably weren't even alive. So screw it. Just forget Arnold. Forget Dick Dawson and go right to GP.
But I like Arnold, though.
Well, okay, then watch that one first.
Okay, thank you.
But
It's
don't you
so
find,
good.
David,
There's no way this remake. So I have a question that I'm asking myself, which is, am I even going to watch this one? It's like me watching Colin Farrell, who I love, but I'm really taking the time to watch Total Recall. And I did, and I regretted it. Am I going to take the time to watch Russell Brand in Arthur? Forget it. I'm a Dudley Moore guy. But I did it, and the new ones are never as good as the originals. But I'm old.
Manchurian Candidate? The new one was better than the original.
Oh, it's a good movie.
Denzel.
That is interesting. So there are examples, but I think that one, the original Manchurian Candidate, is a different even generation than the Arthurs and the Total Recalls of the world. So in that case, I'm with you, where I would always prefer the new ones just because it makes me feel more current. But when they're redoing movies from the 80s, it makes me insane.
David, Christopher Nolan does amazing movies, but would you agree that Tenet is a piece of shit?
No, I think that it just wasn't received well because no one understood it.
Did you?
Probably
Did
a key
you?
element to making a movie.
Yeah. I'm with Zaz. Did you understand it?
I did not understand it, but that is not directly correlated to whether I love something, because I leave movies often where I have to ask my girlfriend, hey, what just happened? Or I don't understand a whole lot of stuff that goes on, and I don't necessarily use that as my sole barometer. I have an appreciation for that movie and what sort of the movie of it, the technical movie of it, without understanding it at all.
I don't agree.
I mean, his explanation was even more confusing than the plot. It's a bad movie. That's a word salad. It's a bad movie. And what are your thoughts on John David Washington as a performer? I know we had Black Klansman that was well received, but in terms of stretching his chops, after that, he is a failed leading man, and the box office has spoken on that with pretty with finality, I think.
Oh, it may not be finality, but they certainly have spoken. But Mike, I would ask you, do you have to like a piece of art in the Louvre to appreciate the fact that it is great art?
I like ambition.
You have to at least understand it.
Understanding it. It was so convoluted. It was a real Christopher Nolan heat check, I thought, and it probably worked against the film's best interest that there wasn't anybody in there because he has such creative power saying this is way too damn confusing even for you. And I also think they got the lead switched up. I don't think the lead was as charismatic. Maybe if you had a more charismatic lead, people would care about the main character more. I ended up caring more about the supporting cast.
Mike, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is something I've held for the last maybe 5, 6, 7 years. I used to always, a movie comes out and then the director's cut comes out. Yeah, show me the version that the studio haters didn't want us to see. So what's a little longer?
Give me that Snyder cut.
Give me the raw, uncut, right? And now I'm like, man, the studio was right, man. These guys need editors. They need editors, otherwise it's just like fever dreams, David.
Yeah, so I never minded seeing things or reading things that I didn't understand and just appreciating the quality of them. Like with poetry, hard for me to understand. Shakespeare, hard to understand, but you're just appreciating what you're reading. As I said, art, movies are the same for me. I just love, there's a bunch of action sequences, action movies where I really don't understand what's happening. It doesn't make sense. I can't keep track of characters. Like there was a recent show I watched, Mobland.
Oh yeah, Mobland. Great
I
show.
loved it, but I'm not sure that I really remembered which characters were what and who was doing what to who and hating who. But I still appreciated it as a great piece of, seeing Pierce Brosnan, James Bond. By the way, Zaz, outrage that you've never seen a Bond movie.
I know.
It's
no
stupid
defense.
to me, actually.
It
makes
no defense.
sense.
I even said it's not like I'm not seeing it because I'm not into it. I know I would like them. I know it's embarrassing. I get it.
I just don't understand the concept of knowing that. That's what threw me off in the first hour. When you know you like something and then still don't do it, that is maybe the poorest reflection on going after your own hedonism that I've ever heard.
How about this, Zaz? I'm going to read you a little synopsis of Skyfall for James Bond, Daniel Craig, right?
Okay.
James Bond's loyalty to M is tested when her past comes back to haunt her. When MI6 comes under attack, 007 must track down and destroy the threat, no matter how much the personal cost.
Oh, come on.
All the same.
I like that. That sounds good.
Not all of them are the same, Dave. Not all of them are the same.
I like that.
It's the British version of Mission Impossible, right?
Another goated franchise.
Another goated franchise, but also I walk away sometimes thinking to myself, in your defense, Zaz, like, what was that movie about? I don't remember. I don't remember what Ghost Protocol was about. Mike will remind me.
He was disavowed.
He was disavowed again?
Government.
Oh,
Do you not get that?
Is that the one where Henry Cavill does the cool thing with his fists?
No.
Oh. I like
One
that.
of the great things about Bond movies is that it makes you realize sort of where you are, what you love, what you don't love. Maud Adams was one of, along with Shannon Tweed, I would say, are the first two examples.
Like
of course.
Well, there was a movie called Hot Dog the Movie, one of the worst movies you'll ever see, except it was fantastic. And Maud Adams was in a Bond movie called Octopussy, which was mentioned by Tony early in Last Hour. And that's a movie you just see because how do you not see it when you're 13 years old and instead of studying your Haftorah, you're watching Maud Adams and trying to figure out how the world works. So I think that, Zaz, you have an opportunity to do something with your kids to open them to a world of greatness. And I think you should start, like during COVID, I'd never seen a Marvel movie or a Harry Potter movie, or Lord of the Rings, and I watched them all during COVID. I think you have an opportunity right now during the government shutdown, since you can't fly. I think you have an opportunity to watch every Bond movie with your children.
American Airlines has buses now, by the way.
You know about that Octopussy?
I do. I don't know if we're talking about the same one, but I know about that, yeah.
It's a big story, Amin, especially for you going back and forth. It's an absolute nightmare. Everyone figuring out which are the 40 airports that they're going to cut the flights. And the good news is the FAA, the head of the department, said, we're doing this proactively. We're not going to react to plane crashes. We're going to try to avoid them by delaying flights and canceling flights right now.
Yeah,
I thought that was super nice of him.
10% of flights are getting cut back while this shutdown is going on in anticipation of the increased travel during holiday season, which is right upon us. They're saying, "Oh, show up to the airport early," but to find out that my flight got canceled.
No, you'll know in advance, but there's one rule that you can learn by watching The West Wing, or you can learn just by living, that like an air traffic controller strike or a government shutdown, those do not fly, or that's a misuse of that word.
Good job,
Those
David.
you can't, thank you. You can't have that happen during the holiday period. October's generally a slow month for travel, so things aren't insane. But come Thanksgiving, you can bet your keister that this will be taken care of, because the airlines will not in any way accept a reduced schedule during holiday travel.
Do you think it gets resolved? You think the shutdown gets resolved before Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it has to. It absolutely has to.
I thought I read that people think it's going to be back this weekend.
Really?
I guess.
I think that the pressure is being brought to bear. So how is everyone? Everyone reacts the same way. If it doesn't affect me, then I don't care. We had election day this week, and the results. Miami was especially horrible about voter turnout, where such a small percentage of people use their right to vote, which makes me insane, obviously. However,
It was a tiny
I would tell you that it is a very big deal to have a government shutdown only when it starts impacting citizens. And air traffic is one of those things that starts impacting people when they want to see family during the holiday time period.
Zaz, you know about that Spectre? A cryptic message from James Bond's past sends him on a trail to uncover the existence of a sinister organization named Spectre. With a new threat dawning, Bond learns a terrible truth about the author of his pain at his most recent mission.
Yo, that sounds good. I like that.
It was city of Miami and Hialeah, basically local governments that just exist for sports owners to extort.
But still, 20% of eligible voters showing up, I think you'd have to agree, is a number that should be embarrassing to you.
It's also super old people that live in both cities, right? So it's not like a massive Miami thing. Like Kendall doesn't have voting.
I love Kendall.
My man.
I love Kendall.
You should be mayor of Kendall.
K-Town.
I want to be.
Would you consider that?
If they put a zip line at the top of the Elster, absolutely.
We will never incorporate.
Thank you.
We will never incorporate.
Unincorporated, proudly.
Yes, unless a sports owner comes along and wants to extort us and promise us the world.
Or the water park at MetroZoo.
That's big on the docket. Then we're willing to listen.
Don Le Batard.
We love you. We've got you. We've all got each other. Let's go right now.
Stugotz.
1, 2, 3, Brett. 1, 2, 3, Brett.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Are the Tigers really going to deal Skubal?
If they're smart, they would.
Yeah, if they're smart. This guy seems amazing, and he pitched lights out for them. They got it to the playoffs. Why would this be a smart move, getting rid of one of the game's best arms?
Because this is when he's at his most valuable, the year before free agency. And I'm not saying they'll get it right, because it's possible that they'll trade for Miller and Maben and they won't work out. And it's possible Skubal will be an MVP and a Hall of Fame guy. However, you have to maximize your assets, and trading players a year too early is way better than trading them a year too late. And you can turn Skubal right now. You can turn him into way more than Skubal, especially with pitching injuries that are happening left, right, and center. The ability of pitchers to sign long-term, only a few teams want to do it. Nobody should do it. So that's the whole goal when you've got assets, whether it's stocks, whether it's currency, whether it's players, whatever it is that you're quote unquote trafficking in, the key is to sell high and buy low. And there is no higher selling than Skubal out of Detroit right now.
But aren't they a contender?
Yes.
So why do that? Is it not? I know it's not.
They're going to get major league pieces. They're going to get depth.
But
they're going to get an opportunity. Skubal had,
contenders
I would
don't
argue,
do this. It's like
second
saying,
straight.
Yamamoto, get out of here. Like, I don't understand. It's counterintuitive to a team that's like pretty close.
Well, as I recall, he won Cy Youngs 2 years ago. I believe he's going to win this year. He's a finalist. He's going to win. That'll be 2 Cy Youngs in a row and a total of 0 World Series, 0 League Championship Series appearances. So in baseball, having a Cy Young winner is amazing. Having a number 1 starter, hard to find. But guess what? It's time to churn if you're the Tigers, because you're not going to have a top 5 payroll. You're not going to be able to sign him long term, very likely. Therefore, maximize what you're going to get from him.
David, in basketball, we see a lot of monkey see, monkey do. People see success and then they try to emulate the success. In baseball, we went through this phase where everyone's like, starting pitcher doesn't matter. We're just going to have bullpens. Guys are going to pitch 4 innings, and then we're just going to cycle through. And now the Dodgers came out and they won a World Series basically on the backs of starting pitching. Do you anticipate a shift in philosophy back to the importance of the starting pitcher?
Well, really what you're seeing, Amin, is what the Dodgers did is something called load management, which had never happened in baseball before. Baseball, there were times when you're playing guys 160 times. Sometimes you had what was called a Sunday lineup. So guys would play 6 days but sit the 7th day like they're resting for Shabbat. What the Dodgers did is they went full Billy Epler. They secreted people away on the injured list, and all of a sudden the pitchers were healthy and ready to roll for October, and they were fresh as tomatoes on the side of the highway. So I think that's what's going to be copied. Baseball's very much a monkey see, monkey do sport. When that started with the shift, that starts with all sorts of things. I think next year, and it's going to be a CBA issue, you are going to see load management all of a sudden become a topic of conversation, because that's really what the Dodgers did.
Speaking of CBA, I was fascinated. This is probably about a week ago. You were on the sporting class, and you got a lot of heat for what you talked about the WNBA CBA.
Yeah, people are mad at you.
God dang, that was crazy. People just don't get it, but that's okay. Go ahead.
This is one of those times where I'm like, yeah, I agree with David. I feel like the WNBA is experiencing this massive explosion in fandom, which is awesome, but it's a fandom that is not familiar with some mechanics of professional sports, and one of them is collective bargaining agreement negotiations. And this idea that they could just walk in, well, the men get 50%, we get 50%. I'm like, that's not how negotiations work. Like, in some way, David, I don't think they understand that the men and women who are negotiating in that boardroom don't care about winning Twitter and threads. They care
it's
about
a funny thing.
They care about money. And it's like, I'm not just going to give you money because, it's a little embarrassing for me every time I open up this app. Are we just cynics, David, or what's happening here?
Well, no, people got angry because they thought that I made up the fact that the women were asking for the same percentage of revenue that the men were asking for. And I got that from the people who are negotiating. Yeah. And Pablo actually came out and tweeted the passage that showed where I got my information from. And here's what I was trying to explain to the people who believe this is the moment for the WNBA and the women who believe the same thing. This is not your moment. Here's what it's your moment to do. Not get where the NBA is, because you're ignoring the reality of the WNBA's finances. Forget expansion fees. Forget Caitlin Clark. The reality is the WNBA is not in even remotely close to the same position as the NBA, and therefore there will not be the same CBA. However, what the women have the ability to do that I would argue the men do not. The women have the opportunity to just leave.
Yeah.
86% of the players in the WNBA are free agents. Do me a favor. Go join Maverick Carter. Go to Plan B. Right. It may not be called Plan B. That's a thing.
That's something
for after
else.
That's
dating. I can't believe I just got that
twice.
Wrong. It's called something like Plan B. I don't know why that's
second option, Dave. Second option.
David, it doesn't even matter what they go to, because you've got the European leagues where many of them make the majority of their money. You've got China. You've got the unrivaled. You have a plethora of options that, unlike would it happen to the NBA, that where we'd say those other options don't pay as well, these options all pay better.
So I don't understand the whole concept. And you saw a player just today, and now, of course, please help me. I forgot the name of the player, and I forgot the name of the league, but it is Maverick Carter's women's league that he's starting, where she's a former MVP, and she announced that she's going to go play for this league. What the WNBA needs to decide right now is, and both the players and management is, are we an entity that has the ability to continue to grow and continue on a path which they've never been on? They've never proven that they can be successful either on the court or off the court. Is this the time where the WNBA says that we can be a going concern, number one, and number two, we can be the best in the world? Because that's what Major League Baseball is. That's what the NFL is. That's what the NBA is. That's what the NHL is. WNBA is not that. And in order to do that, it's more than just paying the players more. It is the question of, is the concept of women's professional basketball, is that the possibility of only having a monopoly of one major league which pays the most? And what's proven over the last 2.5 decades? No.
The player's Nneka Ogwumike. She is the sister of Chiney Ogwumike, who's on ESPN a lot. And Nneka is signed with the league is called Project B.
Project B. So I was thinking Project X, which is another movie that Zaz hasn't seen.
You've never seen Project X?
I've seen that. It's with Michael Jordan.
No.
That's not the one with Michael B. Jordan?
Project
Matthew
X?
Broderick?
No. I thought it was Matthew Broderick, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I'm
No,
thinking of a different
that's
movie.
the thing where Buddy has a house party.
Yeah.
And then his family.
That's what I'm thinking. What's
Michael
that movie
B.
called?
Jordan's in that?
Yeah, what's that movie called?
Project X.
Project X. He's not in that movie.
Miles Teller is.
Miles Teller's in that movie, yeah.
And Michael B. Jordan.
My man Dax Flame is in that movie. Shout out to
Roy, what am I
Friends
thinking
podcast.
of? Am I having a moment here?
You're thinking of the Matthew Broderick movie that involves a
War Games?
chimpanzee? No.
There's a
Not
Project
War
X.
Games.
There's a Project X movie with Matthew Broderick, yes.
Thank you.
And
Okay, I feel way better right now.
Speaking of movies, Zaz, you know about that No Time to Die? James Bond has left active service. His piece is short-lived when Felix Leiter, an old friend from the CIA, turns up asking for help, leading Bond into a trail of mysterious villains armed with dangerous new technology.
I think you're screwing him, Tony.
Well,
I
that
think you ought to
sounds
be
good.
reading about For Your Eyes Only. You ought to be telling him about Christopher Walken. You ought to be telling him about Grace Jones.
That's A View to a Kill.
Yeah.
Great song,
View
too.
to, yeah. Oh, yeah, Duran Duran?
Duran, baby.
What do you know about Duran Duran?
I know about Duran Duran.
You do?
Yeah.
Can you name two members of the Duran Duran band?
Yeah.
Duran and Duran. Roberto Duran and Jalen Duran.
But Tony, tell Roy, just in case.
Just in case what?
In case he doesn't know.
Duran and Duran. Keep it moving.
Juju, put it on the poll. Can you name two members from Duran Duran? Wait, can you name one member of Duran Duran?
This is impossible to believe that no one's going to come up with Nick Rhodes or Simon LeBon. Is it really possible?
Yes.
I would guess Mike. I would have, if I had to bet money, I would say
Simon
Mike.
LeBon.
Where's Duran?
Where's Jalen Duran?
There is no Duran in Duran Duran.
What? Then who's Duran?
It's
Simon
just
LeBon.
Duran Duran.
False advertising.
Great way to
Sue.
make people believe that you knew all along is just say a name in the tone of Paul Rudd. Simon LeBon.
Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant. David, Chris Greer got fired. You believe that it's a move, but it's not the move.
What does that mean?
What's that mean?
Thank you for letting me talk about the Dolphins on your non-local hour, because Stephen Ross was under so much pressure as an owner, because on this show, I believe I posited that he's the worst owner in the history of South Florida.
Really?
And that's saying something given where ownership has been in South Florida. He hasn't won one playoff game in the 18 years that he's owned the team. Not one. But he has created a ton of value. Using public money, Mike Ryan, plenty of public money that he has used to build his fiefdom out there near Wayne's World with F1 and tennis and all the other stuff he's done. Plenty of public money, even though people don't talk about it. So the team stinks over and over again. Poorly spent money. Unable to find a way to get something together. What do? You have a GM and a coach. Both of them need to go. The coach is lost. You go to his press conferences, you speak to local media who are going there and looking at him and listening to him. The guy sounds like a babbling idiot, and that's what happens when you come off as quirky when you haven't yet proven whether or not you're great. And then once you're not great, the quirkiness becomes babbling idiocy, and that's where McDaniel is. So the question is, why would you get rid of Greer and not McDaniel? Because you're in the middle of a season where something good might happen? No, the Dolphins season is over. Because you still believe that McDaniel has the locker room? Who cares? It's so overrated. He doesn't have the locker room because they're not winning. My view is you do a clean sweep and you show your fan base that you are going to bring in a Bill Parcells type. You're going to bring in someone and give them total control over all football operations from start to finish, including coach, drafts, everything. The problem is Stephen Ross may be pushing up daisies. I'm not wishing, but he's not young. And so does he not have time for what is required other than what the Dolphins do, which is get mired in mediocrity? Is it possible he doesn't feel he has the time for a complete redo? Because what firing Chris Greer was like, putting a Band-Aid on a, 3-inch, 3-deep cut.
Dan Le Batard.
Tatas.
Stugotz.
Tatas.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
We got Mike McDaniel's latest press availability. Let's hear it.
They've beaten us because they've scored more points and done the right football things longer than we have in those games that we lost. I think that that's the measure of a good football team, is being able to win. Particularly there's been a couple one-score games.
I like sitting right here
as of late.
Hold on, let me keep going.
We've lost.
I don't think I want to do this.
And you don't want to hear them kind of like
critical
stutter his way through this. Excuse me, man.
No, this is
your
play this in Gitmo.
Wish you could have them back play
This is-
fourth quarter.
No, we can't.
Anticipating that
We know where it's going.
regardless of how
Fade it
well-
down.
All
I
right,
can't do that.
okay.
Can't do that.
What do you know about
I'm gonna
Gitmo?
say this, by the way.
I was told that was a 7-minute clip. I can't do it.
You know what he looks like when he's talking right there. He looks like you talking about the Canes the other day. Zero eye contact with anybody. But the head is moving so much.
It's tough. As someone that also is well known across this great land as being a face of a program. Monday was tough.
I'll tell you,
very tough show.
Like, can you imagine? That's because that's how he sounds. That's how he sounded from the day he got here. Can you imagine if the bad team was the first couple years that he was here, as opposed to them doing the winning? Like, how do you survive sounding like this?
You don't.
They teach you in law school when you are presenting to the jury or to a judge that it's okay to be silent, and people use and as verbal crutches, and it's unbelievably difficult to listen to. And the coach of the Dolphins is the number one guy with the it's brutal.
I'm curious, which law school did you go to, David?
I went to Yeshiva University, Cardozo, Benjamin N. Cardozo School of Law.
That's not a real school.
Benjamin Cardozo is a high school.
American Samoa.
It is.
It's a high school in New York.
Real law school.
That's what Skip to my Lou went.
Thank you.
Benjamin Cardozo High School, man. Shout out to
Who
Mike.
just said it's not a real law school? Is that you, Mike?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like one.
Okay.
I don't know that fool.
What movie are you reviewing for us today, David?
So I went to a theater. First time I've been to a theater since
Tenet?
COVID, because I needed to see one battle after another.
I mean, don't you want to support movies? You haven't been to a theater since COVID?
Oh, I support movies. I spend $19.99 and I get movies when they're streaming. I'm going to do it this weekend. I'm going to do plenty of. That is Cardozo School of Law in New York City. And you can actually go through, for those of you not watching on the Dan Le Batard YouTube channel, there are you can look, I was even chairman of the board of this, but there are amazing rankings of things that we do, clinics. The Innocence Project with Barry Scheck started there, Mike Ryan.
Oh, my bad.
That is where DNA is used to clear people unjustly in prison.
I'm sorry, I didn't know Barry Scheck was affiliated.
You know about
with
that
this.
Innocence Project?
That is my mistake.
Barry Scheck.
Just so you know, Enron has a website. You can do crazy things.
Do
with
they?
these days? Yeah, there's like a fake Enron that's like a whole like I was trying to make a point, and the point is like
one of my
they think you're
favorite
stupid.
one of my favorite things. I remember in business school they said we should have known that they were crooked because their logo was a crooked E, and like, oh shit, it was right in front of us. It was right in front of us. No, but David, you said one battle after another. You saw it in the theater, right?
So I did go to a theater, and I was struck by two things. One, I was able to sit through 2 hours and 41 minutes, no phone, no eating, and no talking of any kind, no distraction. And it's a long movie. Now, I did purposefully choose a theater that had those seats that recline. That was important to me because I didn't think I could sit in a regular folding chair for 2 hours and 40 minutes because why?
Do they still make
And
those
I was
things?
What theaters don't have the stadium seating?
Everyone's got the recliner.
Not
ones.
everybody.
That is not accurate.
There's a couple of them out there.
Not in New York, at least. So what this movie did is it got me from the first minute, the opening scene of this movie. And I think people underestimate, you've got like 3 minutes in this day and age. And James Bond is one of the great examples. The opening of James Bond movies, you're done. You're hooked. It is set right before he comes on and shoots the eye blood. You've got yourself an action
cool it on
movie.
the spoilers, David. All right, fine.
The spoiler of the intro to a James Bond movie? No, there's no spoilers. So this is a movie that there is some obvious political parts to this movie. It is about a group of people who are trying to create havoc, and they create havoc in illegal ways, and they create havoc due to certain policies that they do not agree with. I am not in favor of people who are willing to sacrifice their freedom because there are better ways to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. But Leonardo DiCaprio plays the part of someone who gets caught up in doing things that are against the law, has to go into hiding, and ends up having to take care of a child. And it is a perfectly made movie that has a chance, Amin, to give Paul Thomas Anderson an Oscar. That's how good I think it is now. There's a lot coming out. This is the time of year. This is right now the greatness.
Coming out soon.
Right. From now until the end of December, we are about to see some amazing movies in terms of Oscars getting ready for the March ceremony. However, this movie is going to be nominated for Best Picture. I believe Leonardo DiCaprio has a very good chance for another Oscar nomination and maybe even an Oscar victory. That's how good he was. But there are a lot of performances left to see. But if you can get past sort of the political side where this day and age people can't get past it because they take a position and then close their ears and close their brain. If you can get past that, the movie itself is phenomenal.
James Bond willingly inserts himself into an assassination plot involving a naive Russian beauty in order to retrieve a Soviet encryption device that was stolen by the evil Spectre organization from Russia with love.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
He inserts himself into a couple things now.
Hey,
James.
Nothing personal with David Samson is the show. Thank you, David, for joining us.
Thank you guys very much.
Awesome. Guys, it's time for me to issue an apology for something I said on these very airwaves this week. Earlier this week, well, where's my camera? Right here. Earlier this week, here's my camera, my one shot. Thank you. Earlier this week, I said some rude and disparaging remarks about a particular app that swept the nation named Sora. I said it was cheap and poorly done, and none of the videos ever came out good. I thought I provided multiple examples of such cheaptitude. Then this morning, I discovered I was wrong because I saw something made on Sora that made me completely change my mind. All right. So you guys know about this whole Jaylen Brown thing that's been happening, right?
Yep.
Jaylen Brown runs into somebody, OG Anunoby, Keyshawn George, and like his hairline rubs off on them.
Yeah.
Someone made this on Sora.
Fall, Disney and Pixar present a story about a man who couldn't help to rub off on others.
You just get paint on me?
Bro, that's on my jersey.
Jaylen,
my bad.
maybe it's time to accept who you really are.
I don't know if I'm ready.
Yo, is that hair dye?
Receding.
I was wrong.
I told you.
You guys say Amin never admits when he's wrong. I was wrong, man.
It happened again last night.
It happened again last night, yep.
Celtics at Wizards. Got his hair all over Buddy's jersey.
Hair, I mean.
Well, it's not hair. It's
He wants you to believe it's hair.
Why?
I don't know.
First of all, like I feel like first of all there are a lot of options. I know I'm privy to some of them where it's like they don't rub off. Right? It's not just the regular Beijing. There's stuff that you can put in there and it stays and it's waterproof.
He's got that Party City. He's got that Party City. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. But number two, Jaylen Brown, you had a whole summer. Go to Turkey. Go to Colombia. Hell, they do it here, albeit way more expensive.
You got the money.
You got the money. You can make that junk happen, man.
Zaz, you're bald.
You're bald.
Zaz, you ever thought about that? A little Turkey trip?
No.
What if someone said, I'm a generous benefactor?
Hold on. Yeah, you did radio for quite some time.
You're a
I'm
TV
sure
guy,
you got some proposals.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, no, I did stuff one time. I didn't do anything involved with Turkey, all right?
What was the thing that you did?
Yeah, what was it called?
What was it, like a temporary?
So you rub the shaving cream, you know? You rub the cream on your head. It didn't work.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Zaz.
What was your promo code?
Zaz.
Probably Zaz.
Yeah. I went to Miami Subs Grill one time and I said, Zazlo sent me.
Oh, yeah. I used to have a good buffalo chicken sandwich.
wow.
There it is.
Whoa.
That's the
That's
hair.
right. Look at that right there. Zaslo's buffalo chicken Philly.
$5.29. What a deal.
Yeah, that'd be $20 today. Inflation.
Tariffs.
It's not our fault.
How about that? Look at that sandwich right there. During the photo shoot there, Amin.
Is that a soda, by the way?
I don't know. I didn't drink because I don't drink soda. But during the photo shoot, we're coming up with all different kinds of ways for me to, pose whatever. They wanted me to hold the sub up like this.
And you're like, I'm not doing that.
We're not doing that.
You knew that Sora would exist one day.
Dangerous game.
Look at you, fresh-faced, not yet broken by Len Weiner.
Or mornings.
No, I was doing mornings at the time. Yeah.
Zaz. Again, generous benefactor comes down and says, Jonathan Zaslow, I would like to fund your hair restoration process.
Would you do that? If someone promised you,
is it a cream or I'm doing one of the operations?
We have this new partner. Say DraftKings comes up to you. We have this new partner here.
My name is the Draft King.
It's hair restoration. They'll fly you to Turkey.
We'll fly you first class.
A whole new skull.
5-star hotel. The best dining you've ever had.
I'll be honest with you.
No soda.
I'm totally cool with how I look. Like, I'm totally cool with this.
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah, but what if you had hair?
If you had hair.
Yeah, but you know what? Then I got to explain to everybody. Like, everybody would be laughing. Oh, you did an operation. Like,
come on.
No one's laughing at that.
No.
Dude, no one's laughing at these operations. They're just like, oh, he did it. Like, everyone's excited.
The code is just be honest with it.
Yeah.
Now, Landon Donovan looks ridiculous.
His didn't work.
I mean, have you seen the most recent one?
Well, yeah, he's like, should I shave it? Like,
it's just a system now.
He did a whole like Instagram series on like, I think I should I come home and stuff, and all these people, Charlie Davies and all these guys, like, come on with it, let's go.
People have been open and honest about it. Joe Buck has been honest about it, and I mean, I think his hair looks better now than it did before, and no one's like, that guy got hair transplants.
No, but like, I can't
try to be cute with
but I can't just all of a sudden have a head of hair.
Mike,
yes, you can.
Hold on, Mike. I'm gonna put. There's a line. There's a dividing line. There's the befores and the afters. Joe Buck and these guys all did like the old technology that would.
Yeah. Oh, now it's way better.
Now it's way better. You look at like what Matthew McConaughey or Ryan Reynolds.
He still says that he hasn't gotten a hair transplant.
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds hasn't come out and said that, but he definitely got one.
What's the guy from Kingsman? What's his name?
Oh my God,
Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
Wow, you know about that Tarik Skubal?
Yeah, I like Kingsman.
You watch Kingsman or not?
Yeah, those movies are good.
I mean,
it's based on Bond.
It's all derivative of James Bond.
So you tell me I don't need to see Bond?
Did you watch Austin Powers? Did you watch Austin Powers?
Yes.
Did you get the jokes? Did you get the spoof?
I'm realizing now that I probably didn't get all the jokes.
Look at Landon Donovan.
As long as you're honest, with the rare exception of Landon Donovan, as long as you're open and honest and upfront with the people on social media, I'm not trying to pull one over on you.
He's honest.
I'm not trying to get one. Yeah, but that one just looks especially ridiculous because we've just known him for so long. I mean, he burst on the scene in 2002.
I don't support this. I'm gonna say this right now.
Well, what don't you support about that?
So what he did is because he tried implants. The implants didn't work. So he's doing the hair system, which is basically, you see on the left, he's got the fine bomb. They shave it down. They put glue on the top of his head, and then they take someone else's hair and they stick it on top, and then they style it.
Isn't that just a piece?
Yeah, but it's glued to the top of your head.
Yeah, we call.
It's one of those
it's called
deals.
The system.
But be upfront if you have a system. Like no one, you're not trying to get one over on folks. That's where you get made fun of.
I definitely would not do that.
That's where you're like Bill Self. That's where you're like, I don't know why I'm afraid to say Ravi does it, but
Don't
do
it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
There was one moment, there was a video where like he had to duck because a foul ball was coming at him. I'm like, this would have been the funniest way to find out.
The hair was still up here, but he's down. So, Jonathan Zaslow, you will not take up my generous offer.
Do I have to go to Turkey?
I will fly you
the
first
point.
class. In
That's why they say go to Turkey.
And first class international is not like them chairs you do.
Emirates? I'd like to fly Emirates.
Yes, a little apartment in the
I've
sky.
never flown Emirates before. I'd like to.
Well, it's fly Emirates.
I'd like to fly Emirates. I'd also like to fly Virgin, but
Haven't done that in a while.
Hell. You get perks there.
Not with your algo.
I got a good algo.
You were playing GoldenEye, you liar.
Yeah, man, come on.
No, it wasn't out of here.
Yeah, you
man.
were.
Have you
I
seen Mission
told you.
Impossible at least?
I told you what I was doing. Yes, I've seen all the Mission Impossible.
All of them.
I don't know.
I told
Pretty
you, I like
sus.
the one where Henry Cavill does the thing with his arm.
You didn't even know that was
it's
Fallout.
called Fallout.
Now's a good time to remember where tequila's story truly began. In 1795, Cuervo invented tequila.
Cuervo.
What are you doing here?
Cuervo. Anytime someone says Cuervo, I show up.
Well, I do know that to be true, but even during ad reads, like
Cuervo.
I think you could lay out, especially for one of our great partners.
Sweet, delicious Cuervo.
Since then, Cuervo has stayed true to its roots. The same family, the same land, the same passion.
Cuervo.
So, enjoy the tequila that started it all. Cuervo.
Cuervo.
The tequila that invented tequila. Proximo. Cuervo.com. Please drink responsibly.
Cuervo.
Let's chat about Miller Lite. That's right. Football season is in high gear. The leaves are turning. That means these football games have more consequence. That means you'll be tense. You want to enjoy these games. Well, enjoy these games like I enjoy these games with a Miller Lite by my side. It makes tailgating better. It makes catching up with friends easier. Game day just hits different with a Miller Lite in your hand. From jaw-dropping touchdowns to fantasy heartbreaks, it's a beer that has been there for every moment. 50 years of great taste, simple ingredients, and that iconic golden color that you can spot from across the room. Look at that beauty. And here's the kicker. It's just 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. The original light beer since 1975 and still hitting 5 decades later. So whatever your game day looks like, remember, Miller time is always a good time. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you. Or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.